Hey there, friends. It's Russ here having more Daisy lever gun fun. And nothing's more fun than what I got sitting here on the bench right now. I picked this one up recently, and I've had one of these before, only one, and found somebody who wanted it a bit more than I did. So we made a deal, and it's gone. But this one is one that I'm really interested in. It is called the 8670 Safari Mark I. They were made between 1970 and 1976, and some of the features of this are really unique. It doesn't really look like any other Daisy that I'm familiar with, so I took it apart so we could talk about a few things. It has a molded stock and forearm. This, when the stock is inside there, the cocking lever is actually part of the appearance of the stock. It notches in here, and this part on the bottom, and it still has the sticker on it explaining how to use it, this part acts as the butt plate on the bottom of the pistol grip, so that whenever you cock the gun, the entire thing, the trigger assembly, the ring, crossbolt safety, the arm, the butt plate, everything goes down and cocks into place. So that's kind of neat, I think. Whenever it pulls down in, you hear the click, and it's only a little spring air, doesn't pump up. But there are some things about this that are just totally different from most of the other ones that we talk about. Not just the trigger, but the fact that in here, this lever is actually what catches the back of the plunger assembly. And so it has a little guide. It's kind of hard to see in the dark here. You see that in there? Little guide. That's the sear. So this lever acts as a sear. It's spring-loaded. And whenever you pull the trigger, it releases that sear. Plunger flies forward. And this gun actually does shoot. Not with authority, but it does shoot. And the safety still works on it. You see, it has, for all intents and purposes, a right-handed safety release. If you push it back like that, trigger does not move. You push it down, trigger has all the play in the world. Okay. So, just about the same diameters that we're used to seeing on some of the other Daisies. And if you look at the roll stamping on here, it says Model 86/70, Daisy, Rogers, Arkansas. And it's during the time of the association with Victor Comptometer Company. It does have the register number on here, beginning with the letter M. Patent number down here. And I don't know if you can get a real good look at this, maybe. You see this orangish looking stuff? The metal on this, prior to painting, had a copper wash. And it's evident through a lot of the scratching and so forth. So the paint's not in real good shape. It's some rust underneath of the paint back here. And it's got some wear and some corrosion. This came off. And the reason this is in this condition, right around the loading gate area, because of all the problems that this model has. I've seen other ones before. In fact, the one that I owned before had the missing loading gate. Now, if it looks like this is a little bit of a hump down here on the opening for the gate, it is. I don't know why they did that, but here's the original loading gate. And see if we can get a good look at this. It has that little hollowed out hump here, and it comes with a this piece here. See how I can get that on there. This piece is supposed to go on here, and it broke off. Problem with these loading gates is there is a thin plastic on here, and this snaps over the shot tube, so that whenever you're opening and closing it, this is supposed to spin on the shot tube. And that's why they always break and usually get lost. I was lucky to have these two pieces, although I'm not going to be able to reinstall this. I think I may be able to adapt a more modern loading gate, like off of the Red Ryders and Bucks, and make that work inside of here. At least I'm going to try to. The muzzle cap, pretty much similar to some of the other ones that we've seen. However, it's held on by a screw. And the screw comes in right through that little hole on the bottom. So I'm hoping I can fashion with a very little alteration one of the new loading gates on here. And the decision I had to make with this is, do I grind out the rivets for the cocking lever assembly and for that sear to be able to take the plunger out? Or do I simply try to do a flush on this, get all the gunk out of it, put some seal conditioner into it, a little bit of lubricant, and go with the original condition of the gun? You know, these are so unique. I hate to change too much. I'm going to have to change a few things, and of course we're going to have to go with a modern paint on here. But I think what I'm going to do is do the flush and just let it have as much power as it currently can muster with some good lubricant and good seal conditioner. Also, here's something else that's kind of unique. There's no rivet up front to hold the spring retainer. Now you can see right here, that's the bottom tang of the spring retainer. And if you follow that up, it is the rear sight. But it's not straight up like we see on, well, like your 105s. It's bent. It doesn't have an adjustment for elevation or anything on it. It is not as stable, kind of loose. But the rear sight on this is the spring retainer. Now I tried to look down in here. The back of the plunger assembly is not the same as all the common ones that we're used to seeing that they've used for years. So this gun is really, really unique. It doesn't fit what we might think of as the standard Daisy lever gun. But it's kind of cool, and I think I might just do as much as I can to put this thing into as close to original look as possible. Well, friends, there you have it. This is Russ having more Daisy lever gun fun. Subscribe, give me your thoughts. If you have one of these, I'd like to hear about it and hear of any good performance or bad performance you may have had with one. We'll talk to you later. Have a great night.